Ssenyonyi, a rose by any other name smells as good. And I am the chief there anyway. Good evening to our viewers.
I have from the mountains of the moon, from the Alliance for National Transformation, a frontliner, the Honorable Winnie Kiza. Very nice to have you.
Thank you, Charles, and good evening, viewers.
You've been missing in action. You need to account for your absence.
Yes, I've been on national duty. Yeah, serving the world, serving the country, and I am proud that I do that job.
Okay. Where were you serving from?
I was serving from the mountains of the moon, from Kasese, and from Mozambique.
From Mozambique. Very nice to have you. I hope you'll be able to share with us some words in Portuguese.
Obrigado.
From Lusophone Africa.
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Thank you in Portuguese.
And I have the Honorable Ibrahim Ssenyonyi. Ibrahim Ssenyonyi represents the people of Kira municipality in the 11th Parliament.
He's my MP.
He's your MP.
You said represent or misrepresent?
And he's a frontliner. Very nice to have you, Honorable Ssenyonyi.
Thank you, and good evening to viewers.
And I think, yeah, it is still setting up. I'll introduce the other guest in a moment, who's in studio. We will not be accused of nepotism on the show tonight, but we'll discuss that later. We witnessed the unveiling of the new officers for the National Unity Platform in Makerere, Kavule. Let's start with the process of now moving from Kamucha now to Makerere, Kavule, and the unveiling of new officers. Ofono people have been complaining that for all its 37 years in power, the National Resistance Movement has promised a party headquarters owned by itself, and that hasn't been realized as yet. A very young party called the National Unity Platform has opened offices, new headquarters in Makerere, Kavule, and on social media there was circulation recently of images that seems to suggest that the chairman of your party was driving by that place to take in the view of where that new office is. I think they deserve some congratulations from you, don't they?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate NOV, young as they are, both in terms of when they were registered, but also the group of the membership for quickly, within 2 years, being able to buy or to build. I'm told they bought, I don't know, and they refurbished a home. I want to congratulate them. But also for the record and to correct you, the NRM has a home. That plot 10 Chadondo Road has since been bought by the NRM, that building where we are. And so we have a home. It has been redesigned. It is much better than 15 years ago, when 15 or so when we got there. But just having a home is not enough. As you know, Milton's party has had the Uganda House since 1968. That did not prevent it from losing power twice. Our colleagues, FDC, as you know, they have a home, I think now almost 10 years. That did not prevent them from losing the second slot as the leading opposition. You know very well, they have not increased the membership of members of parliament. But also, let us just look at where they are. NRM is in Nakasero, the other people are in Kavule, Mao DP is in Rubaga, and Kabusu, and FDC is in Najanankumbi. It is only NRM and UPC that are in
the people's government is very close to you. It's walking distance.
Well, that's not a party office. I think that's a pressure group. I think Ssenyonyi will tell us that they have only one FDC. And the address of FDC that is registered and known is at Najanankumbi on Entebbe Road. So I think we are still miles apart.
UPC is on Kampala Road.
Kampala Road. We are still miles apart. UPC and NRM. We are miles apart in terms of picking locations.
You are the only parties that have had opportunity to be in power, hold power.
Yeah.
So maybe that plays.
That plays.
That contributes.
But you know, it's not easy also to acquire and retain power, especially for the long period the NRM has retained.
Let me introduce the man from Kitagwenda, former member of parliament. and a member of the National Resistance Movement, the Honorable Agaba Abbas. Very nice to have you.
Thank you, Charles. I'm equally happy to be here this evening and to meet this able team of the frontliners.
With you and Edgar Agaba, the Toro Kingdom is fully represented.
And I'm surprised I didn't know that Edgar is a member of the National Transformation. I'm learning it today.
Which national transformation?
Eh?
ANT.
Yes.
He's
No.
welcome.
No, let me make it very clear. I do not have a subscription card of any political party in Uganda.
That's not true.
I don't. I know you think me NRM, but I do not hold a party card.
Did you say you guys worked together at some time?
Yeah,
so
we
you know
do.
each
We
other
work
better.
mates.
So
That means I
we'll
know
not
him a
go so
bit.
much into that.
But I thought he's also part of Toro.
I'm part of Wenzori.
Oh.
Part of Renzo.
Please don't bring don't reignite war.
But they are my neighbors. They are my neighbors.
There
We
is no
were
war.
under Toro Kingdom. That is a fact that we can't deny. We are not like any RM which runs away from history. It's a history that we shall always hold dear to ourselves.
Thank you, Nyabahasa. Thank you, Nyabahasa.
Yes.
Let me jump briefly to the Honorable Joel Ssenyonyi on the unveiling of your party headquarters and the ensemble of people you were able to invite to grace that occasion and what that means for both NUP and the broad opposition for you.
Firstly, Charles, it's good that eventually we unveiled our party. It did not occur to us that it would turn out to be such a big deal, the run-ins with police and the military. That happens for these other activities that we tend to have. But for us to unveil our party offices behind the gate and for that to happen, it was problematic. The first day, they said Mr. Museveni was somewhere within the division, so only he could hold a function, because the place was to have a function was far off from where we were. And we said, anyhow, let's let them be for that particular day. But the following day, we shall be there. So when the military insisted, we said we shall walk there. They will do whatever they want to do. And a few minutes to 10 a.m., they retreated. I think they got new orders. Perhaps somebody told them, you guys, you're beginning to look very shabby.
I've seen
These
a
guys
communication
unveil.
from the Uganda Human Rights Commission commenting about your unveiling of the officers and the deployment around your area.
Oh, finally, the Uganda Human Rights Commission is speaking.
Yeah, they did speak.
Ah, I see. Anyhow, so yes, we get to unveil our party offices. Charles, a home is important. An address is important for people like ourselves.
Do you own the building?
Yes, we do. Not just one. There are 4.
4 buildings. Some people have been joking and saying what you unveiled, what you revealed as the artistic impression of the office you intended to open is different from what you actually unveiled.
I'll get to that in a bit. So we did invite, because you began by asking the kind of people we invited. We reached out to friends, to people who we think alike and connect with politically and otherwise, and we invited them. So we had political leaders, Dr. Kiza Besigye, the Honorable Erias Lukwago, people from Jema, Chivirige Mayanja Haji, and several others, people from civil society like Nicolas Opio, and so on and so forth, for this function, because like I was saying, a home is important. If you're seeking to take power, you must be organized even in the littlest of things. That's why when OO is saying, it's okay, you can be in Kavule, we are in Nakasero, even if we have a ragtag of a building, after all, we are in Nakasero. It's important for us. And we think Ugandans need to begin to see what it means to be orderly and how government can be run in an orderly manner. I like to say that if your leadership fails at home, don't export it elsewhere. So as NUP, we are saying we must run our party in a particular way, beginning with the littlest of things, such as being organized, having a home that is neat and so on. That's important, yeah? Now, getting to what you were asking, we first of all bought a piece of land that was vacant, and our plan was to put up a structure there. And as we kept engaging, as we began now to seek for approvals, it was complicated from the word go. it became very clear that the state would not allow us or give us approvals to put up a structure in whichever form, even if it were not that on which we unveiled. Similar to when we thought, okay, now we need a political party. It was convoluted from the word go for us, people power then as a movement, to be allowed to register a political party. So we thought of other means. So likewise, we said, okay, so there's buildings around us, let's engage these people. And we did engage them and structure that we had envisioned. And we remodeled them to look as nice as they do look and to be functional. We still have a big chunk of land. Hopefully in future I'll put up something else. But it was important that we get this going and for us to have a home. Kamocha remains. Kamocha is going to be a school of leadership because it's important.
So you also, NUP owns Kamocha?
No, Kamocha is property for the Honorable Chagulanyi. He availed it to the party, and so we were now saying, we're handing your property back to you. And he said, no, I gave up this space to do party work. So we said, let's then begin working out to make this a school of leadership. We need to train leaders. Even trained leaders need to retrain. It's important that we keep adding value. We have so many young people, as Owo was saying, that do believe in us, and you must be able to nurture them. You must be able to shape them a particular way. And so that's what Kamocha is going to become.
The Honorable Ssenyonyi, let me jump to you quickly. You were, since the return of political parties in 2005, you were not party to own your own headquarters. But the bigger question is, what does it mean? So what if a party owns its own headquarters?
So the question you're asking is a very negative question.
No, it's a question. It's just a question.
Suspicious.
You see, the expenses of running a political party, if you are renting, it means you are going to incur a lot of costs. Like the NRM we are doing, the only advantage they have is that they are using taxpayers' money. But also a headquarters is part of your identity. And I want to thank the Honorable Winnies, who I think at the time I joined FDC, I'm not sure whether the purchasing of that headquarter had not been completed. But largely that headquarter of the FDC was bought by contributions from members of parliament, because the party kept borrowing and paying. So the headquarter will give you an identity, but it is also easier to organize. Of course, these days, I didn't know that the NRM can even stop people from carrying out activities at their headquarters. But they do. I remember when we had prayers, they came and stopped them. They one time occupied Najanankumbi for nearly 3 months.
NRM?
NRM, yes. I meant NRM. I didn't mean anything else.
Okay.
So that's what the headquarter gives you, but also knowing the parties in Uganda. I think the Electoral Commission has about 38 parties. Many of those parties actually exist in a name. You may not even know where they are and why in the first place we even registered them. So when you graduate at a level of building and owning a headquarter, you are in a way distinguishing yourself from the rest of the parties. I think Ochegere had a political party. I don't know if the one that works with NRM.
You mean Uganda's High Commissioner to Nigeria?
Yeah.
Action Party.
Because I remember at the very beginning of political party dispensation, there are parties that were talking to Chris Pastion on behalf of Mr. Museveni at Fairway Hotel, and Chegiri must have been part of that group. So we have about 38 political parties, and I think others just registered and went out. I don't think a party that goes to a level of either buying or constructing a headquarter that it wants just to exist. I don't think so. So that's the beauty. It's part of your identity.
Okay, so you can answer the negative question you said.
No, I have
If it's still
answered.
negative.
It is, but I have answered.
Oh, you discovered it wasn't negative after
No,
all.
it was. Because you are suggesting that actually there is nothing in the headquarters.
No, that's what I was asking.
And then you're
What
asking
if?
me, can you answer? If there is something.
The Honorable Winnie Kiza, this unveiling of party headquarters, a building owned by the party or infrastructure owned by the party itself, of what significance is it?
Actually, some of the
And
reasons.
particularly the
would,
NUP.
I would like to congratulate the National Unity Platform upon owning a home, actually buying and building a home. It's very important. Even as you grow, it apparently becomes one of the issues that define a man or a woman. Do you have a home? Where do you come from? So I would like to congratulate them upon that graduation, that they now have a permanent home. Even when their leader had offered his premises to be the party headquarters, they saw that it is important to have their personal premises that will be separated from the offer that the Honorable Chagulani had given them. And I really want to congratulate them. I want to put it on record that as ANT we were invited, and want to thank you for the invite. And the other reason, in addition to what Semuju had said, is that a regime like the one we have many times fails political parties in the opposition to rent homes. I remember there is a time we are renting and they made it hard for the owner of the home to continue accommodating us. The man was under pressure. He even told us we are under pressure. That is how, as FDC, we thought of owning our own home. And that is how we started.
In fact, my first office as an MP in Chireka,
Yes.
the landlord had to chase me. He said, but you are bringing here police every day. It's as if I was the one bringing police. He said, no, I can no longer have you, sir.
Yes. So
But I thought the presence of police brought security.
that is if they are coming
closer to the
that is if they are
closer
coming
to the
for good
community.
intentions. So when they are not coming for good intentions, you become a danger and a threat to the person who is giving you accommodation. So for a political party, most especially the one in opposition, to own a home, you just know that that is one hurdle that you have crossed. Even when they can take over the premise, like they took over the premises of FDC, but at least you know that you are talking about a home that belongs to you.
You can defend your space.
You can defend your space. Even when you say our home has been attacked, nobody will say, they have not paid rent, that's why we are attacking them, or we are calling police to take over our premise. It is some sense of security, in a way, to you as a political party.
Okay.
And that is why I'm really excited that our colleagues have put up a home. We are also looking forward to owning one. We are still in rented premises. We believe someday we shall also get out of there. And I'm not so surprised that now the NRM is saying, no, we have apparently acquired the home. Maybe they are using it undercover that now we have acquired this one. The owner may not even come out to say, but they have not paid me if they haven't. But if they have, I also would like to congratulate them.
No, Honorable Winnie, I had hit that too, and our viewers have hit that too, and respect for you.
They still have.
For you to insinuate when you don't have facts, and I have told you I have been a spokesperson of the NRM.
How is that a big matter?
No, it is a big matter. For you to insinuate that NRM would tell a lie that we have plot 10, we have bought it. We did not buy it yesterday. It is 10 years ago.
But for 10 years we have been telling them they don't have a
10
home.
years
They
ago.
have never said they have a home.
But months ago, somebody was demanding give people of rent.
In fact, before his days, the owner was crying that we are not
It
paying
can't
you.
be 10 years ago. Now you are also telling a lie.
Secondly, NRM is the only party that has actually constructed by members regional or district offices.
We don't have you as in my district.
I'm not saying you people in Kasese have,
But
there are
Kasese is a world.
but there are
But
districts.
Kasese has a district,
There are more than
that
five
you are
districts.
renting,
There are
and
more
I
than
still
five- there are more
remember
than
there
five
is a
districts.
time when the landlord
Listen,
locked it towards the elections.
There are more
You
than
had not
5
paid.
districts in Uganda that have NRM owned, built, constructed offices. But that's not the point, really. The point I'm making is the NRM headquarters has been purchased.
It might be a
by the
recent
NRM.
development.
I am telling you, it is not. We did not wait for NOP or for you. We bought it on our own volition.
Okay.
Congratulations.
But if you want to go that direction,
I can see Honorable Agaba buses.
You see, I think the viewers are wondering. We have taken the argument to whether you own the home or not. I think it's about having a home as a political party. You can have a rented premise.
Yeah. We are talking
You can
about
have.
owning.
You can have an. You can own. My sister. You are in a rented premise, but you have a home. That's your identity.
And that's what I said, that we are looking forward towards building our own.
And really, we wish you very
Thank you
well.
so much.
That when time comes and you're of age, you can own, because men own homes when they become of age. It's not very unique, but the point is, a party needs to start somewhere. I mean, FDC, I think there were donations of Mr. Garuga before, and also Mr. Chapaka Ruhanga, as contributing their premises, the way the NRM also started and blah, blah, blah. So somehow they metamorphose to own what they have. It's good to own, but for those who are not owning, it's not so bad when they are renting, as long as it's an identity, their supporters can find them there. I mean, NOV, it's the other day. Honorable Ssenyonyi was talking about briefcase parties. We did not know about NOV. Actually, I think even Honorable Chagula did not know about NOV. But the circumstances prevailing, circumstances of the day prevailing, ended him in NOV, and then picked up NOV for owning, yes, but also it wouldn't have been so terrible if they didn't own. But I need to remind my brother Ssenyonyi. You see, the law requires political parties to declare their donations, the monies they get. So other parties may not be aware. So if by the time a party is, if NOP is able to buy 4 buildings in a prime place like Kamocha, like Kavule, yes, it's a prime place, and so they must have really big followers or big sponsors who are giving it money. It's right to declare. The reason Auntie is renting and NOP is owning, it also has to do with the weight of the followers or the donors. But I mean, it's ethical. It's part of ethics too.
Don't worry, we'll find our returns with the Electoral Commission.
A declaration of source of funds has caused
does.
a split in the FDC. So the matters you're raising are very...
No, it's important. And that's why as a party, we file annual returns. Your party does not.
Well, yeah, I just thought it's right
No,
for me
you're
to
actually
let
right.
you know, but
You're right.
I imagine.
That's why we do file returns annually.
No, when
You guys don't.
No. Well, you see, the argument arose that NRM bought yesterday, bought the other day. When they are demanded, they can be provided. So, they are available.
Honorable Agaba Bas, I thought that is a matter of law. You're required by the law,
Yes.
not
by
when
demand.
not when the regulator demands.
No, the NRM declares or files returns, but when you want to access them, they are available. You can access them. It's not that.
Agaba,
You speak only
Let me
what
get a
you
quick
know.
comment from. Let me get a quick comment
Definitely,
from.
I'm speaking
Edgar,
on
then
that.
we'll move on to the substantive discussion.
Yes,
Yes. NUP unveiled new headquarters, and that is anchoring our discussion tonight because we see some kind of romance between them and one section of the Forum for Democratic Change. But on the new party headquarters, the shift from Kamocha now to Makerere Kavule.
You know, I don't know why the issue of building a party or unveiling party headquarters is such a big deal. When you look at the equally vibrant multi-party democracies as ours in Africa, Ghana, let me just call next door Kenya. Kenya has had many political parties morphing, you know, alliances, counter-alliances. They always unveil party headquarters. Every time, for instance, Raila has rebranded himself they've gotten party headquarters, Ruto, Uhuru. So I don't. You go to Burundi, a much poorer country than Uganda. I was discussing with Mr. Podell, a much poorer country than Uganda. Its economy is maybe a tenth of Uganda's. The political parties there unveil party offices, even at district level. So I maybe it's such a big deal. Maybe it's not. But since it's been made a big deal, I think, and particularly given that they had been labeled young, inexperienced, and all sorts of adjectives thrown at them. At one point, I think they were not even referred to as disorganized, but as unorganized. So to the extent that they've erected or remodeled buildings into political party offices and been able to put the resources to do what they've done, then I think they are beginning to, the embryo is beginning to grow. And in the same vein, I add my voice to those who have congratulated them, and I say, hongera sana.
Thank you. Let me come back to Honorable Ibrahim Ssenyonyi. We see some kind of causing up between the group of FDC that you belong to and the National Unity Platform. Should we be reading anything more than what we're seeing in the images, the photo ops?
I think, Charles, you, maybe for purposes of the debate tonight, you are being selective. At the function of the unveiling the parties of National Unity Platform, there are many individuals and political parties that were invited. We are just one of them. The ANT was invited, the Honorable Win Chiza has confirmed. GMA was represented by Chibirige Mayanja, the founding leader of that party. I think the Honorable Miriam Atembe the prayers.
Representing which party?
I did say individuals and political parties. I joined politics 2010. That's when I resigned from Observer to go and join politics. My first assignment was to speak for the IPC, taking over from the Honorable Wafula Ogutu.
And the IPC was?
The IPC was the Inter-Party Coalition.
Cooperation, I think.
Yes. The UPC was there, DP was there, in and out, GMA was there, CP. But if you want to take it far, from the time of the Constituent Assembly, people who are opposed to this military rule were pulling together. That's why you had the caucus in the parliament. I think it was led by Mulenga, or can remind me at that time he was a journalist. The caucus of the multi-party, they were being called multi-parties at that time. So since then,
it was led by Nabudere actually. Caucus for Democracy. It was Nabudere.
CA, that was CA.
It's talking of CA. Mulenga was not in the parliament, it was CA.
I said the CA.
Said
yeah, it was Professor Nabudere who was leading the National Caucus for Democracy, not Mulenga.
So the IPC, the UPC and DP, I think were the main parties sponsoring late Paulo Kawanga Ssemwogere for the 1996 elections. The most recent attempt for the opposition to work together was TDA. It is much more complicated and made complicated, especially by those of us who are seeking political offices. Because if I'm going to contrast it against the Honorable Joel Ssenyonyi, and I see that by working together it will be Ssenyonyi who will be selected, then I'm going to say working together is very bad, because the Ssenyonyis are very bad people. That's what has complicated the working together of the opposition in Uganda, mainly. Because in Uganda, most of the political parties are also led by people who are contesting elections. I was in Ghana, the party now in opposition, which was the ruling party, someone resigned from parliament to go and become a secretary general. So the party has capacity to pay someone to go and become a secretary general, and then they will have a functional secretariat. I think that party has a building of either 17 or 18 floors in Accra. So the political parties in Uganda are still poor. That's why people who are contesting for elections are going to be the executive committee members. So most of their decisions are decisions to favor them.
So what we are seeing with
so by us going now,
yes.
let me be direct. It is not the first time that you've seen us appear with National Unity Platform. We have appeared many times on matters of mutual interest. After the Soroti by-election, we issued a joint communique at Hotel Africana speaking about elections and how they are cheated by NRM. And we said collectively we'll try to find a solution. Because you see,
are you forging a new alliance? You said it well. In 1996 election, you had the Inter-Political Forces Corporation, IPFC, that supported the candidature of Dr. Paul Kawanga Ssenyonyi,
yes.
Since deceased. In 2001, political parties in the opposition, even if they were not yet allowed, coalesced around the reform agenda and Dr. Kizza Besigye's candidature. By 2006, you had a formal working together of political parties that were registered then. Same in 2011, 2016, TDA, as you said. 2021, we didn't see such an effort. 2026, what are you cooking up?
There was actually an effort. We had many meetings.
Yes.
But as I said, even the IPC that we are talking about, some people pulled out of it at the later stage. You remember the Honorable Norbert Mao went it alone. Even Mzee Sivana Chistostudu was sponsored by DP. The UPC along the way, I remember they signed an agreement at the home of the Honorable Mama Miria Obote Karure. But after signing the agreement, she also vanished later. That's why I said that political parties inherently will each want to field a candidate or candidates. So, and there has not been a mechanism to, agreed to choose those candidates. So it has always been a disagreement. Even in TDA, it was a disagreement. Who becomes a candidate? Is it Dr. Kizza Besigye or Mama Mbabazi? But the reason we want to work together all the time is because we face the same conditions.
Thank you.
You're going to be beaten by Mr. Museveni and his military.
Beaten at the elections.
They are going to shoot at you. Where do you live? For you to ask even that question. So they are going to shoot at to work together.
Thank you.
We may humanly fail, but the desire remains.
Honorable Winnie Kizza, the FDC, for example, which is a party you belonged to before, is split. Attendance at the NOP headquarters unveiling was by one group that, for all intents and purposes, has been kicked out of leadership, and new leadership has taken over, which is not in good collaboration between what we have at Katonga and what we have in Naja Nankombe. What kind of cooperation or coalition can emerge with, for example, the National Unity Platform, if one was to be forged?
By the way, when he was speaking, the Honorable Joel Ssenyonyi did allude to the fact that they invited so many people.
Yes.
I may not be so sure whether the FDC in Naja Nankumbi wasn't among those many people that, or many political parties and individuals that were invited. And as to whether they chose not to attend, or maybe they were into other activities, that is a different matter. But the most important thing, just like the Honorable Semuju has said, is the unity of purpose of the members of the opposition and all the change-seeking Ugandans to come together. If I may be allowed to use the words of Edward, Halley, and Henry that getting together, coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. And working together is success. We always desire to come together, keep together, and work together, irrespective of our political affiliations, because it is true that the challenges we face are similar. And it is true that what we desire is similar. It is also true that the Uganda we envision is not different from what each political party aspires to have. I know even all these Ugandans would feel happy that members of the opposition or all those who seek to change Uganda to a better Uganda would come together and start advocating for the same cause on the same table, not to confuse the voters. And the unfortunate bit is that each one of us have their own interests. I would pray that as we continue aspiring to come together, maybe we also become tolerant of each other. That we acknowledge that we are differently modeled. We have our ups and downs, we have our weaknesses and strong points, and that we should be able to accommodate each other's weakness and strength. That whoever has a strength should be able to bring it on table to cover up the weaknesses of the other. And in this, I don't really say that maybe the coming together of the other members to congratulate the National Unity Platform upon having a home or owning a home was in a way saying now this is another force. But like Ssenyonyi has been saying, we have been working together.
Okay, but how does that align with the fact that the individual political parties are facing major fissures within themselves and then attempting to work together at the top level?
Now that is the biggest challenge that we have, and if you may remember when we came to this show and we were discussing the troubles within the FDC, I said it is unfortunate that these troubles are coming to the forefront and are getting into the public domain. That would have been better for these troubles to be sorted internally so that we are heading towards the same destination. So it is important that we look at working together than dividing ourselves. It is always unfortunate that we divide ourselves other than coming together to work together. But the things that divide us are really not so much significant, only that we blow them out of proportion as individuals and as actors, and then I know the Ugandans would equally be happy, they would welcome it, and we work together as a team to change the Uganda to what we want it to be.
How feasible is a new cooperation or coalition between the...
I observe from outside, but usually we have some tools of analysis for social sciences, even physical sciences. It is good NOP now is the leader of opposition, at least in parliament. By that status, the onus is on NOP actually to lead the other opposition parties in parliament and the policy alternatives that they, when they invite people of like mind, as they say, birds of the same feather flock together, to go and give each other morale boosting and so on. That is a good thing. If it had been NRM that had invited other parties, most likely they would have said it is because we want to compromise those. Now, at the center of the dispute in FDC, the ongoing one, has been, Honorable Ssenyonyi here was the whistleblower, I think, with the Kizza Besigye, and they said the other group wanted leadership was here. And he also said that these ones
We're given money equally.
want to hand over FDC to NOP, particularly NOP Buganda. That's what they said. And in fact, Honorable Amriat said, we now regret the hiring of Omuchuba, a mercenary Lukwago, to come and disorganize. So my suspicion, somebody, Professor Parimureba, put up a cheeky post on social media and said, We knew their destination even before they started walking. That when the conflict started, according to Ariemore, said he knew the destination, that the destination of the Ssenyonyi was to have rapprochement
You need to find another credible person to quote, not
with,
Wanyamureva.
with the NOV. But let us assume that they have that intent to work together, maybe field joint candidates, coordinate activities, and so on and so forth, to confront the common problem, according to Honorable Ssenyonyi, which is NRM.
Museveni, there is no NRM.
Yeah, that's okay. Even if you narrate just Museveni, that's okay. What has been the situation before? This wouldn't be a new situation. There wouldn't be, some of the actors are new, but the principal actors are the same. Mr. Besigye, as you know, we have fought him now 4 times. 2001, 2006, 2011, 2016, 2021, he chickened out, but he was there. The reason he didn't come, he knew. So his fighting capacity, his fighting method, NRM people know. I don't think he would
I had no idea it was war between you and
I am
the
using war in a figurative, figurative, not literally.
Why didn't he know if people are being shot?
So his intent, his method operandi, his capacity to organize, and so on, is something that NRM has mastered. So I don't think Besigye would create a new situation that is better for the opposition.
Thank you.
I don't think the Ssenyonyi now will have put them in a corner. I don't think they are likely to wriggle out of that corner easily, even if...
It is you who put them there.
Even, yes.
With your money.
You think FDC hasn't expanded on it because it doesn't want to expand? It is because of the counter-action, democratic counter-action of the NRM. That's why we narrowed the FDC from where they were in Teso. You remember there was a time when FDC was the reigning party in Teso, in West Nile, in Acholi, in Rukungiri here recently. But it is the counter-action of NRM, largely democratic counter-action, political mobilization.
Largely and...
yes, I'm using largely because...
Including
yes,
shooting.
I am using the word largely because I am not blind to some of the unfair, unconstitutional, illegal method that elements in NRM have applied to deal with opponents. I'm not blind to those
Thank
cases.
you. We need to take a break.
I explain it. And so...
But we have also had the same within the NRM.
Yes.
The same excesses.
Thank you all.
So I don't
not
think,
only as against the opposition.
Besigye is a bad omen wherever he goes, I think. So I don't think he's going to create a new good situation.
Bad omen.
Wherever he goes.
That's
yes.
why Museveni was able to win the war because of Besigye being...
No,
Okay,
but it was not the
Bad
principal
omen.
actor. It was not the principal actor.
Let me take a couple of messages. We'll pick that up after a short break. But Kelly Wanda is watching us and says, a question to Honorable Ssenyonyi and Honorable Ssenyonyi. NUP urged people to register and massively participate in elections, believing they can change government through elections. On the other hand, the head of FDC Katonga, Dr. Besigye, has said he doesn't believe in elections delivering change. How is the romance between them, considering this contradiction? Who has yielded or changed position? Kelly Wanda, and he adds, NUP is a formal party, while FDC Katonga is not. What sort of romance works best in such a scenario? Thank you, Kelly, for that question. Gift in Nansana wants Ofono Pondo to account for an article that was run on 22nd August 2006, headlined Mbaba secures $137 million to build 29 floors NRM Tower. He says,
on that.
He says, what happened? Can I just read? Can I just read these messages? We take a break and then we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up. He says, Joel Ssenyonyi, why the launched NUP officers are different? I think you answered that already from the artistic impression. And to Ofono Pondo, you seem to belittle Makerere Kavule as a low-end place. He should be mindful not to annoy the Prime Minister of this country who is a neighbor to NOV officers. Edgar,
And they called her a fishmonger. So.
and he says Edgar should be officially made a co-host. Otherwise, you're heckling and they're not happy. That's a BMK gift in Nansana. Let me take a message from Chigozi Siraj, who says, is there any chance for reconciliation between FDC Katonga and FDC Najanankombe? Mr. Semuju.
No.
What was the aim of conducting nationwide... what was the aim of conducting nationwide rallies by NUP, Ssenyonyi? What next for NRM after Museveni, Mr. OO? What is the biggest stake in the year 2023 regarding our politics in Uganda, Mr. Tabaro? Number 5, do you think that ANT is going to join NUP in the year 2026? Miss Winnie. These are 5 questions for 5 different people. I hope you'll provide him answers.
I answered mine in one sentence.
Yeah, you answered already.
Not even a sentence, in one word.
And Andrew Mujenzi says Uganda has more pressing issues than NUP buying officers. If a man buys his house, does he go around talking about it? That's Andrew Mujenzi. Let me see. Ofono should not spoil the show. How come it is now that NRM is claiming to own a home after NUP have unveiled their home? That's a question for Ofono Pondo. I will take... And I have a message from Laban, that's your home. Laban Mohawe is watching us and says, politics is adding on from all sources. NT source from FDC Katonga, faction of FDC heading to NUP, and Oboy faction facing NRM side. So is FDC still alive? I can't. When we come back, we'll pick up on this conversation.
Here's an opportunity to perform during the UB40 featuring Ali Campbell concert. Using your smartphone, record a video of yourself singing one of Ali Campbell's songs like Red Red Wine, Cherry Oh Baby, Falling in Love, among others. Post it on your TikTok or Instagram using the hashtag NextBigThing or the hashtag UB40FTAliCampbell. The videos with the most likes or engagement will be selected to either win tickets to the show or qualify to perform live during the concert. UB40 featuring Ali Campbell, the next big thing.
Are you having headache, sore throat, muscle pain, toothache, or fever? Then use Curamo Plus. Curamo Plus is strong on pain and gentle on stomach. It's available in all drug shops countrywide. It's not recommended for children under the age of 12 years. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
We always tell ourselves we need to do more, relax and enjoy more. Every time you walk into Kimbabazi restaurant, you are reminded to do all this and a lot more. With an extensive menu meant to give you Kimbabazi restaurant.